All right, let's see who's in here. I guess it'd be after hours for some people. It's really just early morning for me because it's not even 6 a.m. here. So, anybody that wants to come in and do a flock contest with me, you're free to do so. Welcome in, everybody. My name's Anthony. I'm the host of Best Ball on Call. Bright and early in the morning, at least where I'm at. Could be late night where you are, and if it is, there's the late night vibes for you. Like we said, Flock Community Contest is already 45% full. I'm going to jump in one in the event that anyone's actually awake at this hour. Usually not, but I put it out there on X. Anyone's free for absolutely fresh room. So if you want to get in here, it's your chance right now. I am literally up and just getting to doing anything at this point. Shower, fantasy football draft. Let's go to work. About in that order, too. Almost exactly in that order. Is today's events before 7 a.m. Pretty fulfilling all in all, I guess. Let's see how long this takes. It might take this a minute. I don't know. It's the flock contest, so they generally fill pretty quick. I guess while we're here, take a look at some of the stuff in my portfolio. Oh, my bad. I was already on it. Top exposures, you can see Thielen and Golden, my highest owned. I've been not taking as much Thielen because I was hammering him when he was down like before he even moved up a little bit. But Golden, been taking him. JMO in that range with him and Pickens and I don't know who else right there. Rashi Rice when he falls over there, but that whole 3-4 turn or 4-5 turn. Been taking a lot of JMO over there. You can see, I don't know what else. I guess you could look at it there. Kyler, Bryce Young, Jared Goff, my highest owned quarterbacks. You can see I'm usually taking quarterbacks later. Jaden Daniels, the highest of the elites. It's like I either get one of the elites or I just push it all the way to the end, it feels like. It's kind of been as the board tightens up. I don't know. We'll see if anyone wants to get. I got to fill this kind of soon because I'm going to have to run before too long. Probably waited longer than I should have, to be honest with you, to start this. I have to set the alarm and get up earlier, I guess. Might be the reality of the situation. I don't think I can avoid. Well, I mean, unless I want to get up at 4. That doesn't sound like the most fun thing ever. Not at all. Nine more for the Flock Community Contest, too, if anybody's up and watching. Let's see how long this thing takes to fill. I don't want to have to jump ship. What we got on deck this morning's green tea with strawberry and kiwi. It's pretty good. Waiting on 8, so at least we're filling a little bit here. I'm always worried doing this. Like when it's better. I like it when I get a room with 2 or 3 waiting. This one was like totally clean. So it's also a time when not a lot of people are awake. Where if people were awake, then it would get retweeted and stuff a lot faster and would fill. I mean, there's obviously some people awake, but it's just the player pool is a little more limited. At what? I guess it would be 2:30 in the morning on the East Coast or on the West Coast. Sorry, you can tell it's early. Still waiting on 6 more. It is filling a little bit at a time, though. I'll probably be making my picks pretty quick because I'm going to have to get up out here afterwards. I think I ran one of these on PPR Tyler's stream yesterday. What was this? Flock Community Contest 2 would be that one right there. Yeah, I believe that was it because I got Jahmyr Gibbs at 5 and then A.J. Brown at 20. And then took Hurts at 44. Wide receiver room's not the best. I got A.J. Brown at 20 and then took Calvin Ridley. Juwan Jennings, a little bit worried about. Golden, my highest owned wide receiver. Took him with Tucker Kraft and Jordan Love. Bet on the Green Bay passing game. Took Monanga in the 18th as a bring back. Did I have another one? No, I didn't have another bring back in there. I was trying to get Luther Burden. He got taken like 2 picks before me. Did this just back out already? Geez, that's not good. Still waiting on 9 here. I do not want to have to bail on this. That would suck. If not, I'll have to run something else, I guess. Let's go see what other drafts there are. Well, it's probably going to be that. You know what? Here's what I'll do. No, I don't want to bail on the flock contest, though, because I was on the thumbnail. I could change it afterwards. There's the Husky and was it the Palm? I'll just wait on this a minute. It'll fill. Or it'll go backwards. That's rotten. I'll just wait it out. It'll eventually start filling. So people will get there. It's weird that it went all the way up to 6 and then all the way back out. Unless when people saw I was streaming, didn't want to jump in here. I don't know. Another one of the worst air quality days for Metro Detroit. As you can see there on the screen. Rank it up there with some of the higher ones in the world. At least we're not all the way in the red, I guess, right? Waiting on 10 feet. I might have to. Let's go see if I can fill. I might just have a better chance filling the Palm right now. I don't want to change the thumbnail, though. Decisions. I'll give it a couple minutes. We'll give it a couple minutes to fill the flock contest. See if anybody wants to get in here and do that. And it's a lower and you got to pretty much win it to get out of it is what sucks. So that's not as fun. I wonder how hard that is to do on the fly. I'm kind of curious now. You guys might get to see some shit here. Yep, there we go. Okay. Let's do this and what? That's not what I wanted to do at all. That's what I want. We're waiting on 9, so we at least got one more. What if I go to this? Is there a way I can edit this? Not there, I don't think. Maybe that? What are we waiting on here? 9? I can't really do it like that. That kind of sucks. We can make any of those, I guess. Tell you what, here's what I'll do is I'm going to leave this flock contest, get overlay out of the way, and go to this. Instead, we'll do a Palm 2, see if that fills. Snap filled there. Will that save it like that? Okay. Let's do it like that. And let's do it with that one instead. Okay, now we should be able to get rid of this. This can go here. Give myself my own draft board up here. Sorry about that. I need to find a way to make that do it without it showing that to you guys. Get it out of the way. So let's see who we got. Is there anybody we know in here? I don't believe so. If you're in here and you want me to shout you out, throw it out there in the chat and I'll get it for you. All right, since we're drafting now, I'm going to turn down the light. Drafting out of the 11 hole. See what kind of goodness gets presented our way, if any does. Jamar Chase at 2 is always a nice gift. I don't know if these will fill before I get off work. I might fire up another stream either at lunch or when I get off work. I know the algorithm will probably hate it, but whatever. We could take a Neighbors or Nico Collins here. Genty's already gone. Amon-Ra goes there. Let's take Neighbors and see if either of the wide receivers come back. If not, I'll probably just take Achane. Achane goes there. So I'll get one of the two receivers back. Good enough for me. Malik Neighbors, BTJ seems good enough. I know you fall a little bit behind at running back in these smaller contest rooms, but not the end of the world to me. Puka and Brock Bowers there. You get a CMC. Derrick Henry, it always feels good when you can pull one like that off. Kind of curious, King Henry this year. I mean, obviously he's been battling the age cliff for quite some time now and seems to keep fighting it off, but will it last forever? Most likely not, but will this be the year that it doesn't last forever? TBD. But how long we've been betting against this guy and him been proving us wrong. He used to be able to get Bucky Irving down in the third. He rarely makes it there anymore. Chase Brown was another one. I got Chase Brown in a pre-draft one, I think. I think it was at 48. See what the room wants to give us back here. I've been watching where Rashi Rice is going, and it seems like a lot of times he's at 44. I wanted to figure out, I had him at 48, and I seem to never get him there, and he goes just beforehand, so I want to see if I have to move him up in my rankings. Just to make sure I get some of them at least. I had some pre-draft, but a lot of it was up here at like the 3, so I don't like that as much as if I got some down here in the 4th. TreVeyon Henderson at 28 is a little bold. Marion Hampton at 29. Here go all the running backs. But I should get some unique combos if I feel like taking a wide receiver here, huh? Anytime Marv falls to the right side of the board, that's when I feel better taking him. JSN goes, I mean, if Devontae falls to me, I feel like I got taken there, right? We'll see what this guy does. He takes Devontae, of course. So let's take Breece Hall and get our first running back and see what the turn does and comes back to us. I'll leave you the Terry McLaurin, Jaden Daniels if you want it. He takes Jaden and Terry. Do I take the fall on Kyron there, or do I want Kittle? I think I'm just going to take Kyron there. In the 4th round, not so common. His ADP is usually 35, getting him at 30. I know he's probably going to fall a little bit more, but at least I showed him my running back room where I'm not too worried about that until later. You guys play. You get Mike Evans on a little bit of a fall here if you want it. Well, I wanted to watch. There goes Rashi Rice. So see, that's what I was thinking. 44, 43 might be the spot. Always trying to dial it in where I get some, but not too much. Kittle at 43 seems like a pretty good value. I wonder if I have a Breece Hall and Kyron team yet. I don't think. Yeah, I'm guessing I don't. So this will be unique in that aspect. That's why I did that. I was kind of thinking it would be unique. I probably should have checked beforehand. But then we need to start thinking about what other wide receivers we can line up and what quarterbacks we're going to want because this wide receiver pool will dry up quick. Emeka Egbuka at 45. Someone out here just getting his guys. Okay, so this will definitely be some unique combos. Maybe I'll get a Travis Hunter fall back here to 59. Work on a little Jags double stack. Probably going to be pushing quarterback down the board a little ways here. With 3 out of the 4 elites gone, and I would think Hurts probably goes. Did no one take Devontae yet? Well, that's interesting. We'll see who goes where. Baker Mayfield at 52, huh? Okay, that's one less quarterback you can play with in the pool later. Hope this one don't get through. I wouldn't. That's not too egregious. Starting to be, though. I figured Hurts would go one of those pretty quick. Let's see, who's going to need wide receivers in here? I guess I should leave that up for you guys. It's probably better, huh? So in here, who's going to need wide receivers? These guys probably. See who makes it back. Travis Hunter goes there, so that's out of the question. I think you just take Devontae Smith on this fall. This room's getting kind of whack. He goes Connor. I'm going to take Devontae Smith on that fall just because that team's super unique there. Yeah, I got to do that. What's Devontae Smith doing at 59? And Zay goes at 60. He takes Rome Odunze. I think I'm just going to take Kamara there and shore up my running back room. A little bit dusty, but 3 good running backs to get there by pick 62. Wide receivers will be drying up, though. And I'll have to think about who I actually feel like getting at quarterback on this team. If there's one good thing we have going, it's that we got Devontae Smith on a good fall. He's on a good offense and should be able to find his way in the lineup at wide receiver. We're trying to fill the flex with the running backs here, so we can find other quarterbacks later on. Burrow goes at 64 to the Rashee Rice drafter with not much else going on. Can make this Anthony Richardson team. Do have Brian Thomas bring back in week 17. I'm trying to think other way. It could be a Cam Ward team with Kamara. Obviously, Stafford with Kyron Williams. You could always take 2 or the tight ends later. We'll see how it falls. So Drake May at 69. This is kind of what I've been watching what this guy's doing over here. You want Ashton Genty, Bucky Irving, Travion at 28, Mecca Buka at 45, Baker Mayfield at 52, Drake May at 69. Nice. We'll see what the room sends us back. I wish I was somewhere close to that guy to catch falling value instead all the way on the other side of the board, where I just get to watch get scooped up by other people. We don't need that going on. How about no notifications currently? Running back room's pretty good where I'm not worried about that. I'll take a couple upside guys later on that correlate probably with whatever games I have going on here, and a couple younger guys because that's a little bit of a dusty RB room between Kamara, Kyron, and Breece Hall. Probably a 5 running back team, though, so I can figure out what I want to do otherwise. And it looks like we're going to get possibly a wide receiver back here we'd be interested in. Joe Mixon at 81, so people are buying that dip periodically. Jaden Reed will probably go here, I think, if he's auto drafting. Yeah, Jaden Reed goes there. What a yucky range for wide receivers, huh? Let's take Josh Downs because we get the correlation with Brian Thomas. Didn't really need a running back. Figured that guy would take one. He takes two. Am I buying the dip on Khalil Shakir? Probably not. Let's lay into the Colts offense being underpriced and go right to Michael Pittman. Losing a little bit of ADP value, but there's nothing on my team there that I guess I could have taken Mooney for the bring back in with Kyron. That might have been the pick. I had ADP as much as that, though, so I don't really care either way. But that gives me two ways into the Jacksonville game. So I guess Herbert would or Trevor would be my first quarterback that I'd be looking at here. Outside of that, maybe Fields if he got back here at 107. Just a bet on the Jets offense. But after that, then it would probably be Herbert because after that, they're all going to be later. Playing without a quarterback today. At least that's what it looks like. Kelce and Hockenson go at 90 and 92. That's a little bit late for Hockenson, a little bit early for Kelce. Boy, if I could get Mooney back here at 107, that'd be a gift, right? Keon Coleman would be a bring back for Devontae Smith as well. Probably something like that. We also might have well, I was going to say Bo Nix and Evan Ingram available to us at the next turn, but Bo Nix just went over here, went on that side. So that's no longer a thing. Let me get Darnell Mooney back here where I pushed him once around the board. Could probably watch my queue start to get cleaned out here. Would have to probably think about Rashid Shaheed there. Gives me another way into the Titan Saints game in week 17. What's happening? Dylan, was that Dylan Peary? What's happening? Thanks for joining in, man. Make sure to draft Cedric Tillman later. Best sleeper in fantasy this year. Well, let's see here. Ah, shit. That's not what I wanted. I'm at 14.9% Cedric Tillman currently, so I'm almost twice the field. So I'm definitely hip to what you're saying here. Does Rashid Shaheed make it to me? I was hoping that Mooney would come all the way back. He did not. So I think it's either Rashid Shaheed or Andrews there. Does this guy have a tight end yet? No. I'm still going to take Shaheed. If he takes Andrews, he takes him. Not the end of the world for me if he does. If not, I'll take him at 110 coming back. Thanks for stopping in, Dylan. Appreciate you, man. Not a lot of people up at this hour, so appreciate you tuning in and tossing a like and a sub on the video for me. Doing one of these real quick before I go to work. Sorry about not seeing your comment right away. Can I get Trevor Lawrence back at 131 is the question. Kelvin, where's the Travis Hunter? He's got, oh, that's scary. I'm going to take Mark Andrews and see if Trevor Lawrence will come back. A little bit of a discount on Andrews. ADP is 103. I get him at 110. The only person I'm really worried about is the Lamar drafter, who is right here currently. If anything, he's probably going to take Trevor Lawrence coming back because he just took Tyler Warren there for the game stack. That would be my guess. So we'll see how bad I get boxed out at quarterback here. That's why I get trying to push it all the way down. But there's a couple things we can do. I would think, if anything, that guy at pick 128 will take Trevor Lawrence where I'm trying to push him to 131. See if I'm crazy. I mean, we know I'm crazy. We'll just see if I'm right. Definitely need to add some younger cats to this RB room, I think. But I feel like Steel City Gang is going to try and he could have Jordan Love available to him. We'll see. I don't know which will make it back. We'll see what he does. I could always double tap with Love and Craft if it made it back here. I don't know how much I like that. Definitely need to get some late season surge for this running back room, I think. Retrospectively, maybe should have taken Mooney at, what pick was that? Where I took Pittman at 86. Maybe that's the one thing I would do over. We'll see what this guy is going to do. It's the guy with Tyler Warren in the next pick that I got worried about taking Trev. He goes Herbert, so that should leave me Trevor Lawrence at least. And I've got one quarterback, so that's a start. Let's take Trev there and get our first stack. And I just think, given the news and everything we've got going on here currently, I'm going to take Tank Bigsby and give me my stack at running back. Now with the overlay, you can see how it's all correlated. 2 bringbacks and Pittman and Josh Downs. Tank Bigsby with BTJ. Or Trevor Lawrence with Tank Bigsby and BTJ. Bringbacks for both of those games. At least I get a half pick discount or so on Trevor Lawrence. I was worried about him making it back. I have an idea what I can do for quarterbacks later, possibly. What I'm thinking is Cam Ward, and if I get him back, stacking it. Or I also have Anthony Richardson for the Colts, Danny Dimes if I feel desperate. Well, their ADPs 157 and 179. So maybe I'll get Cam Ward back here at 158. If not, then we're pushing for Anthony Richardson way later. I wouldn't hate if Bashal Tuden made it back to double tap that Jags RB room. Doesn't happen. We'll see if the Cedric Tillman pick comes to fruition at ADP's 149. I'll be at pick 155. So it's possible it happens. I think my wide receiver room's in pretty good shape if the Colts aren't god awful. This is what I'm looking for here. See if that. Yeah, now you can see that a little bit better, I believe. A little bit of running back starting to go off the board. I wonder if it's probably easier to see for you guys if I zoom that in one more. I think that is better. Maybe not so much for the team screen, but definitely for the draft board. And I can put that out of the way and do that. So we'll have to figure out what we're going to do as far as our other quarterbacks coming up on this turn, most likely. Kind of a bet on the Jacksonville offense here. This guy did have some of the Colts or Saints pieces with Chris Olave, so I guess I could have to worry about him possibly taking Cam Ward. Why is CJ Stroud such a fall there? It's a little wild, isn't it? That guy said enough's enough. Scooping up value. Kyle Pitts goes there. I could make the Cedric Tillman pick. Is that worth it there, though? Let's take Brenton Strange for our second tight end. Lock that up. Just ahead of ADP. And see what he does for. Does he take his third quarterback here? Is what the question would be. Does not he take Jack Bech? I think because I have the double Saints bring back already. I'm going to take Cam Ward right here. Just after ADP, and I also have Io Manor and Restrepo to pile on later, probably Restrepo, and then I could get a third tight end if I need it. But I will definitely need at least one more running back. Be kind of thin to play it like that. Sorry about not taking Cedric Tillman. I thought about it on that term, but I didn't want to pass up the correlation with Brenton Strange having Trevor Lawrence already and Cam Ward for the second quarterback with the bringbacks that I had with Alvin Kamara and Shaheed already. I do agree with you, though. Cedric Tillman's a Pretty good later round sleeper. If the Browns, especially if Flacco's the quarterback and they're going to sling it a lot, that seems like it'd be a good pick. I guess it depends on how good Cleveland's defense is. If they're not that good and they're in trailing game scripts a lot, but even if they are good, I'm sure they can only hold a serve for so much if the offense isn't that good. So in the event that I get a third quarterback here, it would be Anthony Richardson because I have the two Indy pieces, but it might just be two quarterbacks with Trevor Lawrence and Cam Ward. Could end up 2-6-8-3. 2-5-8-3 would be right if I took Chig. I also have Juwan Johnson for the third tight end. It's another way into that game. I don't really care much about Stafford, but if he fell to 179, I'd have to think about it. He does have the same bye week as Trevor Lawrence, though, so that doesn't really. Could backstack him with someone else, but I don't have any Atlanta pieces because I didn't take the Mooney game, so I don't think that's something I'm interested in. Let you find, ladies and gentlemen, view the board. This is where you start to see some of the guys creeping up the board, like the frisky later round selections. In the event that you're here watching at these ridiculous hours, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel, that way and turn your notifications on. That way you'll get them in the event that you would like to draft with me. You can be part of the action here when no one else is. Matt Stafford's still there at 179, huh? All right, let's do this. Still going to take Alec Pierce for my seventh wide receiver. Just gives me a bunch of Colts in that bring back game. What of the running backs do I like here? DJ Giddens would give me like all the Colts bring backs. He takes Giddens. I feel like Rico Dowdle's a really good pick in this range. Let's take Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. We're going to start shoring up this running back room. Some younger cats. He's been getting some buzz. I also have him in a week 16 bring back with Devontae Smith in the event that game gets there. Gives me another bye week. He's been getting a lot of the camp buzz. He probably wouldn't make it back to me at 203. And I'm kind of just in tack on some more running backs at this range because I've got Trevor Lawrence with 3 different bringbacks. If that game shoots out, I've got Cam Ward with Kamara and Rashid Shaheed if I can get this there. Probably a 2-6-8-2 or a 2-5-8-3. Chig goes after me, so I'm definitely not going to take another tight end. Probably be a 2-5-8-3 or 2-6-8-3. So if we're going to make it 2-6, I'm probably going to take Restrepo and one of these running backs. Taj Brooks, interesting. Let's just go down by ADP. Who else has been? Monongai's been getting first team reps. Nothing I extremely care about outside of that. Let's see what the board's thinking. Yeah, see, Brico Dowdle and Woody Marks were also picks in that range I was considering. I just took all the Indy bringbacks for that game, and they're actually some spike week guys. Depending who the quarterback is, Downs and Pittman could be terrible picks with AR. Without AR, he went over here. I was hoping to push him all the way back here. Didn't happen, so it'd be a 2-quarterback build. I don't even believe that's worth taking Tyler Shuck for the bringback. Just take Restrepo for another wide receiver, Io Manor if he goes, and then 2 running backs or another running back. I don't think that's. I could take Dyami Brown. Does the bet get too wide with the Jags? There's the question. It's one of these 2 wide receivers, and then who for the running backs? Kind of late for Taj Brooks. Yeah, I feel like my wide receivers are good enough with starting with the 2 I did and getting the Devontae Smith fall. Just overall bet on the Colts offense being anything other than terrible with where I took everybody. Dyami Brown goes there, so that's one less I can do there. It'll probably be Restrepo and one of these running backs down here. Taj Brooks probably fallen too far. Let's see by ADP. Yeah, let's take Taj Brooks there. Rounds out the running back with some younger guys. And then I'm going to take Restrepo to stack with Cam Ward with the last pick. It gives me bringbacks of Shaheed and Alvin Kamara if he's still healthy and makes it there because I got a 7-pick fall on him. Recap the team. Trevor Lawrence, Cam Ward. Cam Ward has bringbacks Alvin Kamara and Rashid Shaheed. Cam Ward had, Trevor Lawrence also has Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby, Brian Thomas, Brenton Strange, bringbacks Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave. Cam Ward is stacked with just Xavier Restrepo, but has all the bringbacks. Has the bringbacks in the New Orleans game. I messed that up. Trevor Lawrence has the bringback of Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce in the Jacksonville game. Mark Andrews, the one-off tight end. Don't love it, don't hate it, but I think it plays. That being said, I got to get to work. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate you joining in the Best Ball on Call. I've been your host, Anthony. Make sure you turn your notifications on, like and sub the video so you can come back and draft with me if you're awake at these ridiculous hours. And I will catch you again next time. Have a great day, everyone. Peace.